The
Elitist
Pizza
podcast. I'm probably going to disagree with a lot of this. I can
Yeah,
probably already tell.
exactly, which is kind of why I wanted to do this. Or maybe you'll agree
Wait,
with some of it, honestly.
before we start, let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
We're not going to go into a big deep discussion. Just a question. Um, do
Uh,
you like, as far as characters, do you like DC or Marvel better?
I feel like that, I guess maybe Marvel. I feel like that DC has a small amount that I really like, and Marvel has a
Hmm.
lot that I like.
Okay,
Uh,
that's fair.
what
I'm
about
not
you?
going to go me. So I used to be a big Marvel fanboy, but as of late, I've been getting more and more into DC superheroes,
Mhm.
like especially Superman. I used to really hate Superman. But I find that people that like hate Superman, they can never articulate correctly why they hate Superman, and usually the character that they're describing is like some weird perverted version of Superman. And oftentimes, a lot of the gripes that people have with Superman, it's not accurate. They don't. It's like representing that they don't really read the comics.
He actually
And
gets, yeah, that's actually a point that he makes. So,
oh, really?
yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah,
let's
because
see. So let's see what let's
Superman.
just
Yeah,
we'll
let's
just
see
see
what he
what he has
says.
to say, and then jump in. Then through the commentary, you can say your position. Does that sound all right?
Right.
All right.
So I just saw Justice League, and
movie plagued with as many
The
problems
story
as
they're
it
fighting
is
through is a
flying
mess.
human
And the
beings.
and I gotta say, I loved it.
Wait, did you just say something?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
No, I really mean it, guys. I actually thought it was hilarious. It was such a mess that I actually enjoyed myself. I like watching these movies fuck up and fail every year. It's become a great tradition. I was on record.
I actually kind of agree with him on that. Except for like the Joker, which I guess is technically a DC film. Haven't liked any of the DC films or any of the films set in the DC universe since probably the Dark Knight Rises.
I would say
Wait, what was the one with the Joker in it? Not the one with Bane. What's that one called?
The Dark Knight.
Oh, the Dark Knight. Okay, since the Dark Knight.
Okay, so I have a couple of things to say about. So I thought Wonder Woman was a really good movie.
Oh yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
like right after I pause it, he says that Wonder Woman's the exception. I actually haven't seen Wonder
Um, I
Woman.
also I also I enjoyed Shazam. I
Oh
think
yeah, yeah.
I think
I think this was before
considering
Shazam came out.
okay
This was like 3 years
considering
ago. Yeah.
oh yeah, I think it was before. I was just saying, but considering the direction that they could have gone with it, I'm glad they went the direction they did. Let me see what else. I actually enjoyed Man of Steel. Again, it was kind of a weird version of Superman, but I still kind of enjoyed it. But other than that, Batman v Superman, the director's edition is pretty good. Justice League, we'll have to see what happens with the Snyder cut when that comes out. Um,
Yeah.
I am pretty excited for that, but I want to see the new direction that
Yeah.
DC's probably gonna.
He's a lot more pessimistic about it. So we'll jump into
Well,
that.
this was 3 years ago, so
Yeah, that's true.
probably has different opinions, especially with
Saying
that
that Wonder
Batman trailer that came out.
That's fair.
Woman was a fluke, and that it could not save Justice League from failing. The second you hear about desperate reshoots, you know you're in for some shit.
But what did you think about the Fantastic? I haven't seen that Fantastic Four movie, but I have seen Suicide Squad. Have you seen Suicide Squad? Another Four movie?
Fantastic Four is Marvel though. Fantastic Four is Marvel.
Wait, did I just see
Fluke,
Oh yeah,
and
I
that
don't know
it
why.
could
Wait,
not
hold up.
save Justice League from failing. The second you hear about desperate
Oh,
reshoots,
okay, yeah, you're right.
you know you're
He was just referring to the desperate reshoots.
Yeah, he was referring to probably because they all those had desperate reshoots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have you
I
seen
did see that movie.
You seen
So I've
both?
seen both of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
Suicide Squad is bad, but apparently they cut out like a lot of the stuff that would have made it make a lot more sense, but it wasn't great. Fantastic Four. Have you seen The Rise of the Silver Surfer? That
I
one?
saw it in theaters, but I was really young.
Okay. Um, that movie is probably worse. I know you saw Incredible Hulk recently. That movie is
Yeah.
worse than Incredible Hulk.
Oh shit. Oh wow. Okay. Well, I liked it as a
It's
kid, so
it's
but that doesn't really mean
oh no no
much.
but yeah but it's not great.
um. Now, I honestly, I think I kind of like Suicide Squad. I don't think it's a good movie, but I enjoyed watching it.
But, oh yeah, that's I'll say that too. I actually really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's great, but again, I've heard that the people at Warner Brothers a lot of times that they ruin these movies because they cut out a lot of the things that made sense. Like I know they cut out. I don't want to put a number on it, but I know they cut out a bunch of the Jared Leto Joker scenes. And I know people hate on the Jared Leto Joker. I can't even form an opinion. The guy was
Yeah,
barely in the movie.
they should have just owned it, and they should have just been like, "This is the Joker." Like, take it or leave
Right.
it. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just, I think people were too quick to judge because I'm not saying he was great or anything, but I can't even form an opinion. He was barely in the movie. But
I really like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
I liked her in that movie, but I did not like her in her own movie, Birds of Prey.
I haven't seen Birds of Prey.
Like Birds of Prey is a terrible superhero film.
Oh, okay.
She was so
Superheroine movie.
I guess or whatever
Yeah.
she was very annoying. Like I wanted to kill Harley Quinn in that movie.
Let's go ahead. Nah. Yeah, we really stretch these out.
Yeah, we can find a way to make anything longer.
My man.
However, while this movie was funny, it was still
My man.
bad, and it still did make me upset a lot of the time. And I've been thinking about this idea for this video for a while now because it's been an issue that I've had for a while. My issue is that DC just has the worst heroes. Or at least that's what the public thinks.
Are you more of a Marvel guy or a DC guy?
What's the difference?
Let's start by
So I recently rewatched Ragnarok, and I know you don't like that movie, and that's fine. But I really like Jeff Goldblum in it. Do you like?
Oh yeah,
Jeff
he's
Goldblum?
entertaining in the the movie.
I,
I mean, the movie's fairly entertaining,
Yeah.
but as a Thor fan, I can't say I like it.
So there's like this. You probably remember. There's this, where they free the slaves, the gladiators, and like the Grand Master's like assistant, like his Secretary of State, so to speak. She's like, "Oh, the slaves have escaped the mainframe." He's like, "Oh, why do you say that? I don't like that word." She's like, what do you mean mainframe?" He said, "What? No, why would I? No, the slaves." He's like, "Okay, I'm sorry, the prisoners with jobs." He's like, "Oh, okay, that's better." I mean, he just plays it so well. Every scene that he's in, that kind of you kind of chuckled at my shitty like representation of it, but like he plays it like so much better. Like he like doubles the comedy in every line, all the lines. He's just great in it, dude.
Yeah, he's pretty good in it.
by saying I actually love DC's characters and the stories that they're in. Most of my comic library is made up of DC comics. While I do prefer Marvel, like most people do nowadays, there was a time when I did not feel that way. But lately I think Marvel's been represented very well in media, and that's the key. Media representation outside of comics is how you shape public opinion about comic book characters. The biggest problem with DC superheroes is that they are misrepresented in popular media. There, that's the whole video. I'm done. Bye, guys. But no, seriously, I'm gonna try to explain this a little deeper because it's kind of a big problem. Public perception of superheroes is important to the integrity of the character. If you change a concept about Batman in a movie, then people are gonna think that's how things are supposed to be. You know how just a few years ago people thought Spider-Man's webs came out of his fucking body? God.
I do agree. I think that was a weird decision. I think it's just
I think it was a weird decision.
also like why like the I mean I guess the whole idea of Spider-Man's kind of dumb anyway, like from a power scientific perspective, but like it wouldn't just make a new hole in his hand. That doesn't even make any sense, right? I mean it would, if anything, it would come out of his nose or something. I don't know, his mouth,
Maybe his butt.
his dick.
That's
Dude, that'd be cool.
the movie I want to see.
He's got like all of it. And he's like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
whips out and then he like grabs onto it as it grabs onto the web.
God, it's so nasty. Just because the general public was told that in a movie. If you told any of those normies back then that shooting webs was not actually one of Spider-Man's powers, they would look at you like, what? Excuse me? Fact is that movies and shows shape public perception about these characters. Most people think the Fantastic Four are boring and stupid because they haven't been in a movie that isn't boring or stupid. In reality, the Fantastic Four are awesome, but the non-comic reading public doesn't know that. The Adam West Batman series...
Do you like the Fantastic Four?
Dude, I love the Fantastic Four. And every time I say that, he's right. Every time I say that, these I don't want to call them normies. Yeah, they're normies, but it's not a bad thing. But these people don't understand. They'll be like, "I'm like, ew." I'd be like, "Bro, if you read the comics, you would know why."
Wait, hold on.
Like,
Do you
one,
have the noise suppression on?
no, I turn the noise suppression off. Why?
Because it just sounds weird. And keep on going. It's fine.
So I love the Fantastic Four. I think if more people read the comics, they'd understand why. Um, a comic book run I always recommend to people is Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run. It was amazing. They're really entertaining characters, but they haven't been in an entertaining movie, just as he said.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read any comics, so but I do think that there's like I feel like that there's a lot of meat on that bone, for like Johnny Storm playing off against Mr. Fantastic and stuff, and maybe even the Thing a little bit too. Like they're
Right,
kind of like how Deadpool and what's the Iron guy? The X-Men guy?
Colossus.
Colossus. Like with Deadpool and Colossus, I feel like that you could have that kind of a dynamic, right? And
Yeah,
it would be entertaining.
that
I imagine that's
that
kind of what
that
the
is
source material is because they've tried that, but they haven't really been succeeded.
yeah, and they could that more or less is their relationship, but it's like but even more so than Deadpool and whatever his name is, Colossus,
Yeah.
is that they're like brothers. Like at the end of the day, they still
Yeah,
like care a
they're
lot about
friends and
each other.
they're comrades, so it's kind of
Right.
it's a little different. It's not
And
quite
then
as hostile.
and they haven't quite captured how smart Reed Richards is and how like stupidly overpowered Johnny Storm actually is.
No,
Like if he really tried, he's like wildly overpowered.
wait. Is the Sandman vulnerable to fire?
I mean, I'm sure he'd turn into glass if you just shot him enough times, right?
Seems like
Is that
that.
how that works?
Like, yeah. I mean, yeah. If he got hot enough, well, it seemed like that would be like Johnny Storm should be fighting against Sandman because aren't they
But I
in
feel
New York
like he
too?
probably just yeah, he'd fight him one time and just kill him.
Yeah.
But
Like,
so they deal with more like intergalactic threats. They don't really fight
see.
like petty criminals.
Well, I mean, what if let's? I mean, I don't know. It seems like though that if like there's a Spider-Man struggling against this guy who's killing a bunch of people, and then Johnny Storm is there. I mean, why not just take 5 minutes out of his day? I whatever. I we get this isn't this.
Maybe
But does Spider-Man kill?
he tries not to, but he has killed people before.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. So we don't get on too much of a tangent.
Left a lot of people thinking that Batman was silly and campy, a series for children. But then Tim Burton came out with his take on Batman, and it made people realize that Batman was actually dark and action-packed. But still kind of silly and campy. But the general public also didn't know that in the comics, Batman was already doing dark and gritty shit. You can't rely on comic books to shape public perception. Lots of people think Aquaman is stupid because of the Super Friends. He was lame as fuck in that show, and then Family Guy made some jokes because of it.
Damn fool! You're more useless than Aquaman!
And everybody made some jokes because of it, and everybody thought Aquaman was this fucking goofball because that's how he was represented in media.
My ability to talk with fish is of no help, Wonder Woman.
Ever since then, there's been what I like to call the Aquaman restoration plan, where writers try every conceivable idea to try and make him cool. That's why they picked this big, cool, badass, handsome Dothraki guy to play him. You know the joke about him talking to fish in the movie?
I hear you can talk to fish.
That joke has been told in comic books, in cartoons, in video games.
Scarab says you talk to fish.
I'm sick of that fucking joke. It's not funny anymore. Oh, and by the way, he can't even talk to fish. He sends signals to their brain to, like, convince them to do shit for him.
Can't you talk to the fish?
Yes, eventually he can.
Movies and TV are just insanely more popular than comic books. Comics are a niche medium. They are a cult medium. It's sad, but it's true. People don't like to fucking read, okay? Most people don't fucking bother because it's easier to watch a movie or a show. So when you change ideas about a superhero in a show or a movie, and those ideas become popular, It bleeds into the comic books and the games. It creates this weird parasitic circle, but I'll get into that a little later. First, let's talk about TV shows. I remember a little while ago people were saying, yeah, Marvel movies are better.
Have you seen that Arrow?
Yes.
I like the first few seasons. I think we talked about this before. You feel that way, right? The first few
Right.
seasons are good, but yeah, okay. Yeah, they start like bringing too many characters back where there's like no more tension. I'm like, no one's dying. I don't care. Was that how you feel about it?
Kinda. I just got kind of corny, and they just after a while, I was just like, they're literally just making him Batman. They just couldn't use Batman, so they were just like, we'll grab the other guy who doesn't have powers. I wish we would have gotten a true Green Arrow show. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but I'm just gonna say for anybody who knows what I'm talking about, they know that Batman and Green Arrow are not that similar at all.
I was surprised at how like when he first started killing people and stuff. I thought that was cool, but then he stopped killing people, and I don't know much about Green Arrow, but doesn't Green Arrow kill? It seems like it'd be hard to be the Green Arrow without killing.
Sometimes, but no, it's just like there's a lot of like their personalities are not as similar. Like if you watch Arrow
Mm-hmm.
without any context, and I didn't tell it, like you don't think that he acts like Batman without
He does now that you mention it. I never really thought about it, but yeah.
he's more like Batman light. And it's like
Yeah.
Green Arrow is nothing like he's nothing like Batman. They're not even remotely similar, especially in personality. They're not that similar at all.
I
The
was about
only
to say-
thing that makes them similar is that they don't have powers, and that's it.
I was about to say he's like white Batman, and I don't know why for a second I thought Batman was white. I don't know where. So like I was like, yeah, he's like white Batman in that show, but like I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but all right.
I mean, they did. Yeah, I hate that show now.
But
It's like now that
DC
I'm more
has
into
better
Green Arrow,
shows.
it's like
I see.
now that I'm more, yeah, now that I'm more into it, it's like they're not. They're Batman and Green Arrow are literally nothing alike. That's it.
Wait,
I won't go.
is Oliver Queen actually like a rich guy?
Well, they're both rich, but they're not
Okay.
that similar.
Ah.
Like as far as personality, like Oliver Queen, he's more closer in personality to like the Flash or something.
Oh, yeah,
Like he
he's
makes a
more
lot of
quirky. He's
he
not
makes
as
a lot of
dark.
yeah, he makes a lot of jokes. He has a lot of fun.
Okay.
He's not really a dark
Yeah,
character
that's
at
true.
all.
He is
has-
very serious in the. I think he could have been. He could have been a little less serious and stuff in the show.
Yeah.
I really like the part with the hive. That was my favorite arc in that show.
It was cool.
It was cool.
I
Oh,
stopped
yeah.
caring after a while.
Yeah, that's fair.
Shows, right? They were mainly referring to Arrow and Flash when that came out. But then Marvel came out with this fucking sleeper hit over here, followed it up with a killer second season and a few decent spin-offs, and no, not you.
You're fans of the Netflix Marvel stuff, right?
Right. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen all of them except for I've seen all of them. I haven't seen season 2 of Jessica Jones. I don't think I've seen season 3 of Daredevil. Remember you told me.
Oh yeah.
I actually kind of liked Iron Fist. Did you see Iron Fist? Did you see Iron Fist?
So the first season, the second season is a lot better, but I just never finished it.
I didn't even know there was a second season.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked the first season. I mean, I don't think it was that good, but I liked it. I was
Yeah,
like,
I think
I broke my ACL. I totally ruined it in like 2017. And so I watched every. I think I'd already watched Daredevil, but I watched every like Netflix Marvel thing I could get my hands on for like a week. It was just nonstop, and so I really liked. I like Jessica Jones. I think Jessica Jones is my favorite. I don't think it beats Daredevil, but I think it's better than all the other ones.
yeah, hers is pretty good. I think it's probably the best spinoff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen season 3 because I don't like Trish at all, and I just don't want to see her.
I didn't even know there was a season 3. Wait, who's Trish? Is Trish the other chick that helps her out?
The blonde girl. She gets really annoying in season 2.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I kind of thought the Jones Cage Nicholas Cage. Who's Nicholas?
Luke Cage.
Who is Nicholas Cage?
He's an actor.
Oh yeah. Okay, I don't know. All right. Yeah, Luke Cage. I thought that was kind of cool how they dated and stuff. I liked that because like she was like his darker half, you know. Luke Cage kind of has
Right.
red clouds.
I knew they were probably gonna build to it later, but I wish they would have got more into the relationship
Yeah.
further down the line. I'm not gonna say too much, but
would have been kind of cool to get like a crossover season with them. Like they're going out
yeah,
fighting
because
crime.
they oh, I guess we're never gonna know in the Netflix shows because it's over now.
Yeah.
So in the comics, they're actually married to each other. So I always figure they're
Oh.
gonna end up together.
I do. Like it would have been like, what if we got like a season where like they had to work together? Well, okay, this is what they should have done. We should just do a whole episode on these shows. But so the Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, right in the Jessica Jones series, they kind of like fuck, but they don't like have like a intimate relationship. So
Right.
they should like break it off. Somebody says something messed up, but then they have a common enemy, and they decide to work together, and they like banter. Like maybe Jessica Jones is like, "Hey, we need to get in here," and like Luke Cage is like knocks on her, says, "Hello, ma'am, I need to, hello, ma'am, I need to, get into your house or whatever," and then Jessica Jones is like breaking the lock or whatever. I don't know, just like cool stuff like that, and they like tease each other, and then like they get like a thing where they're fighting each other. It's like, well, you always think you're better than this. Oh yeah, well, drinking's not gonna solve your problem, or something like that. And they just kiss, and they make out, and then they're like, so what are we? And then maybe that's like see episode 6, and then like I don't know, maybe the fight through the fighting and all that stuff, they're like, we have some serious problems that we need to work out, but I really want to spend time with you. Maybe like Cage says that to her, and like towards the end, and then she says like, "Oh, you're so sappy," and then he like smiles. I'm just writing fan fiction at this point. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it could have worked. Maybe we need to reboot it. Whenever we become, whenever I get my I'm gonna become a big name in film. I'm gonna reboot
Right.
it and do the Luke Cage, Jessica Jones Netflix series. Not Netflix. It'll be on Disney Plus, I guess, at that point in time.
Yeah.
Disney Plus series. All right. I think they're good shows.
Not you.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of people out there who like Flash and Arrow and shows like that, but honestly, they're just cheesy CW dramas with crummy acting, bad direction, but an engaging soap opera story structure.
I think he's right. Do you agree?
No, I think he's totally right.
Yeah.
I've always had that gripe with the Flash. Like the way they wrote the Flash was so just terrible. I have a lot of problems with a lot of these people who write these comic book movies and TV shows because it's very obvious they don't have a fundamental understanding of how the character and the characters around them act. You don't need to be a comic book nerd. Like all you have to do is maybe look up on Google. I don't know what are the best Flash storylines, and then just read them and see how the characters interact with each other.
You're gonna really
And
like
then-
where this video goes, because he pretty much says that.
Right. And
So-
then I think if you just do that for like 2 seconds and then look at how the characters interact with each other, then you would have a better show or a movie.
I agree. That's he says that though, so I'd like to see what you say about his specific.
I'm not saying that last part in a bad way. People like these shows because the plot is laid out much like a soap opera, but that's also the appeal of comic books. However, Daredevil showed people that comic book superhero shows can actually be good shows. Not just good for a superhero show, but good TV altogether. The first 2 episodes of Daredevil contain some of my favorite storytelling in television from the past few years. I can't even stomach a single episode of Arrow, so even though people enjoy these shows, which is fine, I think there are definitely worse shows to enjoy out there, they still aren't considered good shows anymore. Marvel beat them again, just like how they beat them with movies. And the reason they beat them in the movie department is because the guys who make these movies and these shows know their shit. The people making these new DC movies, they don't get it,
I actually
okay?
disagree with that.
The Marvel people don't know this shit either.
They don't. I mean, certain characters, yes, but a lot of the times, I don't think they do. I think it's pretty evident with the Spider-Man franchise. I mean, I think if you just go online,
We have to do okay when the next Spider-Man movie comes out, we're gonna talk about them. We have to watch all 3 of them again.
we'll see if I even we'll see if I even watch this movie. To be honest.
Well, we should. I want you to watch it and then
Oh,
let
yeah,
your
yeah.
anger fester, and then afterwards we shoot the episode.
Oh, I hope to God that this is a good movie, because if they ruin Spider-Man for me, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I hope it's as bad as possible. Just because. just to see you get upset about it. I like them. I like Homecoming and Far From Home. I think Far From Home's a lot better than Homecoming, but I like them both.
I think they're both. I actually think the opposite thing. I think Homecoming's a little slightly better,
Oh,
even
okay.
though they're both not good. Like here's what I say about Homecoming. I think Homecoming is a good Marvel film, but it is not a good Spider-Man. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think I understand fundamentally what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man, or even the characters around him. I even think the Amazing Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield one, did a way better job of just writing the characters than both those movies.
This
The
guy
second
actually
one
has
I
a.
was kind of boring.
This guy actually has some videos about the Spider-Man series.
Yeah, I've definitely seen his
Yeah.
videos on those.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should. Maybe we'll have to do some videos on the Spider-Man series. Let's see what he's. I think you'll agree with him. What he's about to, with what he's about to say, though.
And
Okay.
if they don't get it, then neither does the general public. I have a very strong hypothesis about the people who direct and create the DC movies. I am convinced that most directors don't read more than a few comics to prepare.
I don't think I had ever seen what Zack Snyder looks like, and I gotta say, he actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, man, it's a Giga Chad.
Yeah, he looks like. I don't think I get along with him. He looks kind of like a frat bro, but he looks cool.
DC movies. I am convinced that most directors don't read more than a few comics to prepare for the movie. I think that when a movie director looks at Batman, they're like, okay, I get it. I don't need to read all this other shit because I understand Batman. Who doesn't? I mean, look at the Tim Burton Batman movie. That shit isn't even comprehensible from a comic book standpoint. He just made his own shit up. It worked for the time, but it's not based on anything. Look at the old Superman movies. You get the core ideas about who Superman is, but it doesn't really go any deeper than that. Again, they're just making shit up because they figured they understood the gist of it. But I guess it's not really fair to talk about these older movies because they were pioneers. They kind of created these genres all on their own, so they have a little more leeway, right? Well, let's talk about The Dark Knight then. I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan only read The Long Halloween, The Killing Joke, The Dark Knight Returns, and Year One. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey Marcus, that's like 4 or 5 stories you just listed there. That's a lot to adapt for a trilogy. That's better than nothing, right? Well, here's the thing. If you do a basic Google search for the best and most iconic Batman stories, these are on the top 100% of the time. These are baby's first Batman stories. This is what everybody reads at first. They're great, yeah, but it's hard to feel love for a character when you're only seeing a representation of their core stories. And that's it. Let's compare this to two things.
Okay, so he's gonna talk about what he likes about the Arkham series of video games. But so far, what did you feel about what he just said about Tim Nolan? Not Tim Nolan, Christopher Nolan. Tim Burton, Christopher
Yeah,
Nolan.
I agree for the most part. I think I think Nolan had a better understanding than some people about with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
But I do get why he's saying that, especially with Batman. What was the first one called? Begins.
Yeah, we good.
I guess I some would agree.
I mean, I like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. Well, I don't like the last one. I think that one's pretty bad.
Really,
But
I really enjoy that one.
oh wow.
I think Bane was an awesome villain.
All right, we're gonna have to.
Well, why don't you?
We'll
What
have
did
to
you?
get that later, but
Do you not like Bane? Because I think they actually.
I didn't.
That was probably the first accurate representation of Bane in a movie. I mean, decently accurate. I mean, there's some things that didn't get it right.
I don't know how
but
accurate it is, but I didn't like it, even if it was accurate. I mean, I guess the whole idea of like, oh, God, they all have to leave Gotham and stuff is cool, but I just didn't feel like it was executed right. Like the whole idea of like, with like his broken back and how he gets up from it, and like, doesn't he recover in like a few months? Like, isn't that kind of ridiculous?
yeah, I get that. I don't know. I just thought Bane was so cool. Like, I love Bane. Bane's one of my favorite villains, and when he's written correctly, it's like it's amazing because most people have this perception of Bane that he's like just some
Meathead.
Meathead, but he's one of
Dude.
Batman's smartest villains. He's actually like a dark mirror of Batman. They're very similar, you know.
All right, well,
But
maybe maybe I just don't have a good appreciation for the character, and I should rewatch it.
maybe not rewatch it, but maybe like read some of Bane's best stories and then see. I don't disagree that the movie is like not great. I'm not gonna say it's the best movie ever. I just like Bane as a villain. That was about it.
All right. Okay, well that's fair. I kind of like the whole like the whole like left wing thing. Everybody like rise up because it was kind of relevant because it's like it was in 2009 it came out, right after the
Yeah, I
financial
think so.
crisis. I thought that was kind of clever and it was kind of cool, but like the kangaroo course they had, but let's go ahead and watch this.
That I think get Batman right and feel faithful: the Arkham series of games and Lego Batman, the movie. These two properties obviously have a lot of love in them, plus they create unique stories that we haven't seen before. The Arkham games go that extra mile to show ideas that are from more obscure stories, and this makes the series stand out more. Likewise for Lego Batman, but obviously in a lighter way. I'm using this as another example because A, I want to...
Have you seen Lego Batman?
No,
I
my
haven't
family
either.
saw it.
So, but you said
Yeah.
your family saw it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just didn't see it.
show how a loving adaptation can show different sides of a character and present a completely new story, and B, not enough people have seen this movie. As someone who has read Batman comics for years, this is easily the most faithful Batman movie ever made, period. It's also actually funny. Like, it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
I've seen you go through similar phases in 2016 and 2012 and 2008 and 2005 and 1997 and 1995 and 1992 and 1989 and that weird one in 1966.
So why am I even ranting?
I think we need to bring back the 1966 Batman. We do, dude. We need to subvert. Oh, okay. This is what happens. They need to come out with a Batman movie, and the trailer needs to be like what you would expect, like this dark thing. Maybe not even. I don't know what. Maybe I'm not sure. So I have two ideas in mind. They could come out with the trailer and make it seem like it's gonna be dark Batman, but it's really not. Or maybe they could just come out with the trailer and be like, it's fun Batman. You got the blue suit and the whole shebang. It's like bang, like they did in the 1960s one. So
Oh yeah, that's gonna make a lot of people happy. And by a lot of people, I mean like 3 people.
I guess I just want to see all the comic book nerds get all like upset and salty.
Oh, you'll see me get really salty.
About this idea.
Although, I do think there's a place for that. Honestly,
yeah.
Like sometimes
in a show, maybe.
I like there's a Batman comic book recently that came out where he was just like, I think it was called like Batman Universe or something, and he was just doing like goofy stuff and hanging out with like goofy characters.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's just like, I mean, I think it's like comic books are so hyper realistic. Like every once in a while, you need to do stuff like that. So you know what? I probably wouldn't be as opposed to that movie as I say I am. Because every once in a while,
right.
just not have to worry about Joker murdering everybody's family. Maybe he's just like, I'm going to put laughing gas all over the city, and everybody's gonna laugh to death.
Well, it might be cool if it was like what if it was just like a murder mystery? I wouldn't even, I don't even necessarily have a problem if it's being fucking, if it's what if it's a serial killer and it's Ben Affleck Batman? I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I think that's something similar to what they're doing with the Robert Pattinson Batman.
What's Robert Pattinson? I don't know who this guy is. Let's see.
Twilight, Edward.
Oh.
He's Edward in Twilight.
Oh, I can see that working. But what's he look like now? I don't know what he looks like now.
He looks pretty much the same.
Oh, really?
But
is it
not
Pattinson?
pale.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Yeah, Pattinson. Yeah. He but his acting is way better. Like he's a really good actor right now.
I just see him and I think of a vampire. I guess that's just because
I don't know why you're getting all these fan images. They literally have an image in his new suit. I don't know why you're getting all these fan images.
Oh.
Like I imagine the first one should be him in it. There you go. That's the actual suit.
Oh, that actually looks pretty cool.
It's like a Batman Year 2 thing, and they're doing more of like a murder mystery. They're using like the Riddler as one of the main villains.
Yeah,
the Penguin.
That's cool. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
What do they know when it's gonna come out?
I think it's like either this year. I think it's next year. I'm sorry. The trailer was really good. I'm sure we can't play the trailer. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say watch the trailer. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble.
Marvel does it all the time. They take this reference material and then they make an entirely new experience based on it. Oh hey, what comics are we going to use for the new Thor movie? I don't know, let's take some of the grand scale epic fights from Thor God of Thunder. Let's take some of the comedic elements from Thor, the Mighty Avenger, and let's just throw in some Planet Hulk, just to be safe. Wait, excuse me, what was that last part? Where the fuck did you get that from? You can just tell that the writers making these stories have a pretty good idea of how the source material works. They know the stories inside and out, and as such, they can craft unique movies.
What do you have to say? Yeah, you think he's
I
just
disagree
totally
with
wrong?
that. I think he's going overboard. Like,
Alright.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I don't think whatever the director's name is picked up a Thor comic. I just didn't like the movie. Like, I don't like how they represented Thor.
Alright.
He's like a big joke. But I'm not gonna go. We can watch.
Yeah.
We can watch a video. We're like
Yeah, that's true.
8 minutes in.
Spider-Man Homecoming is not based on any Spider-Man comic. As someone who happens to know his shit, I can tell when the creator does or doesn't. When Batman starts shooting people and killing them, then I get the idea that maybe someone doesn't understand them.
I love this scene. So this scene's so funny. I mean, it's in like a dream sequence, but still, it's like
Right.
like Batman, like it's funny seeing a Batman with a gun just murdering like dozens of people. It's just so like ridiculous.
Yeah.
The point of The Dark Knight Returns. And with that, I'm going to talk about how Zack Snyder doesn't understand the point of Batman or Superman. Let's start with Superman, since I've already bitched about Batman a lot so far. I'm pretty biased, I'm not gonna lie. Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are a mess because Zack Snyder has no idea how these characters work. And since movies and TV dictate how people view these characters, now the public doesn't understand these characters either. How often do you hear it when people say, I think Superman's really dumb, I'm just not that into Superman? I'd say that most people probably have this opinion right now. But guess what? If you've actually read a Superman comic, you'll see that Superman is nothing like movie Superman. He's actually fucking cool. In the movies, he's shown to be this emotionless, godlike figure. He's more of a symbol than a real person. His only motivation in movies is to save people and hang out with Lois Lane, I guess. That is like the bare minimum of what it takes to write a Superman story. He's not even a real person in these movies. He's completely unrelatable.
I agree with him so far. Do you agree with him?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This leads
Never
to the
mind.
public
I was gonna go. Never mind. Go ahead.
thinking that he's boring. In actuality, Superman is a chill-ass dude. He grew up as a normal kid on this planet. It doesn't make sense for him to be this emotionless god because for all intents and purposes, he's just a normal everyday guy. The Justice League show does this the best. In fact, it does everything the best. It's easily one of my
Have you seen the Justice League show?
Yeah, dude, I love that. I love that show.
Okay, so he's gonna talk about a few things in it, and then afterwards, you should comment on it. Is that right?
Yeah, it's fine. You just play
favorite
the video.
superhero shows out there. It
Yeah,
has
play the video,
mature
man.
elements and it tells a lot of really good stories. There's this one episode where it's Superman's birthday, so Diana and Bruce go to his little ice castle, and they find that he's in an alien parasite-induced coma. He's trapped in this fantasy world where he lives a lovely life on Krypton with a family and a good job, and then he realizes that it's not real, and you get this heartbreaking moment where he has to tell his son goodbye.
This is everything I ever wanted in a life. But I've got responsibilities, Van. And I have to go now.
Oh god. My little heart can't take it. Then there's a two-parter where in the first episode, Superman is apparently killed and the Justice League has to cope without him. They have to learn how to save the world when he's not around. But then in the second episode, you learn that Superman was just thrown into the distant future, a future where his powers don't work. So he has to go on this odyssey on his own to try and return to the present. This show is so fucking good, guys. I'm serious. The thing is, people just don't know that Superman is this relaxed, mellow dude. They think that Clark Kent views humanity as beneath him. Let's look at this scene from Kill Bill Volume 2.
A staple of the superhero mythology is there's the superhero and there's the alter ego. Batman is actually Bruce Wayne. Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker. And it is in that characteristic Superman stands alone. Superman didn't become Superman. Superman was born Superman. When Superman wakes up in the morning, he's Superman. What Kent wears, the glasses, the business suit, that's the costume. Clark Kent is how Superman views us. And what are the characteristics of Clark Kent? He's weak. He's unsure of himself. He's a coward. Clark Kent is Superman's critique on the whole human race.
Now this is
What do you think about that?
I think that's Interesting. I think that's partly accurate.
Okay, do you want to elaborate, or do you want to hear what he has to say?
I want to hear what he has to say.
One of my favorite movies ever made, but this is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. Clark Kent is not Superman's costume. He was Clark Kent before he was Superman. He was a regular dude before he was an all-powerful demigod. He loved his parents, had friends, relationships, he broke his heart. All of it happened.
I think that part with the dog looked cool. I don't know anything about the dog, but
Oh,
looked cool.
that's Crypto the Super Dog.
I thought he was just called Super Dog.
Nah, it's Crypto the Super Dog. You better respect my man.
So is he a Kryptonian dog? What's his deal?
I think he's just a Kryptonian dog.
God, why is it?
Got all the powers.
What is about I could get it. Okay, Kryptonians, they're like people, but they're really strong. But is everything on Krypton just ridiculously strong? Like, what the fuck?
Well, they're not strong on Krypton, but on Earth. Oh well, because Krypton has like a red sun, so they don't know that they have like different abilities. But under a yellow sun, they get these abilities.
Oh,
So
okay.
on Krypton, they kind of it depends on how the story is told, but most of the time they function the way we would function if we were just further advanced.
Yeah, they're just
But
scientifically more advanced.
right, but they function the same way we'd function. They use like guns and stuff and car or like whatever vehicles they use to drive around, like flying cars and stuff.
Oh.
But whenever they go to a planet with a yellow sun, that's why like when General Zod came to Earth or whatever, like a lot of times you see him, he's like
He's
whoa, this is
surprised.
like
Yeah.
so weird. Like, why can I do this? Why am I like this? Because under yellow, they're never under yellow sun, so they have no idea that
I see.
they
Wait,
have
so
these different abilities.
So does Superman like ever? Does he ever like go to other galaxies or other star systems?
Yeah, sometimes.
So
There'll be times where he'll.
Isn't it like it compounds, like it'll degrade, but it's not like there's no yellow sun. He doesn't have any powers. It's like it stores up and then it goes down, like hunger or something, right?
Yeah. It works like a battery, so it stores, but after a while he'll run out. Unless he's directly under a red sun, then he'll just like gradually, like when he's directly under a red sun, the battery I guess drains faster.
Oh.
Depends on how it's cold again. So either the battery drains faster or it just doesn't work at all. But at some point it'll just stop working. Like he'll be like, instead of being able to fly, he'll be able to like jump really high, and then after a while, he'll be like a regular dude.
Wait, so why doesn't he just have like a suit with like or something that's like, why doesn't he just go into a tanning bed every night when he's in like, right?
So I mean, he doesn't have to do that at night. Like he lives by a yellow sun, so he doesn't have to do that. But
So it's not
there's
the
a
light; it's
character.
just the proximity itself.
I guess. I mean, he's already. I mean, his battery's already charged.
Yeah,
and then he
but
wakes
I mean,
up in the
like
morning.
when he goes, to the other
when
star
he goes,
systems.
he doesn't go that often. But so there is a character that does have a suit like that. Superboy Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about Superboy Prime all day. So Superboy Prime, he so wait, let me see what the blue sun does. I'm not sure what the blue sun does to Superman, but Superboy Prime, he has a he so they he was fighting all the superheroes. If you want me to go super in depth into this, I can, but
I don't.
Okay, I'll go a little. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Uh-huh.
Now I'll go. So I'll just explain this part. So he's fighting all the superheroes. I guess you don't really care why. He's fighting all the superheroes. And he's like beating the mess out of them. Like I'm talking everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So the Flashes get together, Kid Flash and so is Bart Allen and Wally West. And they run him so fast that they run him into the Speed Force. So they're like, okay, he's done. But like he built a suit in the Speed Force that absorbs that allows him to charge more sun energy, basically.
Oh, I see.
So he has like
maximizes.
Because when he was in the Speed Force, he was losing his powers. Obviously, he wasn't losing it as fast as regular Superman because Superboy Prime is essentially Superman squared, I guess. Superboy Prime is
so
Superman,
super strong.
but like he's way stronger than Superman. Like it took like two versions of Superman to like fight him at once to like have a chance to challenge him, not even really like kill him. He's like stupid OP.
So
But
this says, I don't know if you seen this, but so I guess
Yep.
red stars are half the temperature.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
What about blue?
Blue,
I don't know what the blue one is.
5 times. It's like 4.5 times ours. So it's super.
Okay,
hot.
so apparently, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says it increases his abilities.
So which makes sense because it's hotter. I mean, Kelvin is
Right.
objective. This is I don't know if you're a science guy. You know what Kelvin is?
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with Kelvin is.
Yeah, Kelvin is actually objective. So if it's actually double the Kelvin, it's actually twice as hot. So it actually
okay.
is twice. Or I don't know. It's like 4.5 times because it's like 5 times 5 is 25, right? So 6 times something like 4.5 would be 25. All right.
On Earth, all before he started being a superhero full time, and this is reflected in his personality. He has a tender soul, and he's a human being before anything else. He doesn't save people because humans are weak and frail. He saves them because he has the power to, because he wants to. Superman is the costume that Clark Kent wears. Now, I was gonna put this video out before Justice League came out, but I knew that Justice League was gonna have some kind of effect on what I'm about to say. Now, I'm only going to talk about 2 scenes, so if you don't want any spoilers at all, skip to the time.
It's actually not that. I don't think it's actually that important to watch it for what we're talking about, so I'm going to go ahead and skip.
All right, it's fine.
Movies that are portraying Superman as a boring and emotionless goody two-shoes. Zack Snyder showed us a Superman that acts just like this. A Superman who is not fun to watch. Then in BVS, we have a Superman who, once faced with the death of dozens of people, which was entirely his fault, he flies away and hides from everyone. There were a lot of things about this movie that pissed me off.
Guys,
this is
I'm outta
probably
here.
the number one thing. In Man of Steel, Superman kills Zod.
What do you want me to do? They're already dead. Bye.
Bye.
I'm out of here, y'all. I mean, I got a booty call to get to.
Because there just wasn't any other way to stop him. Now, when I saw the trailers for Man of Steel back in the day, I was fucking hyped, because I could tell that they were taking some inspiration from All-Star Superman, which is my favorite Superman story.
Oh,
It's probably
yeah.
one of my favorite
All
comic
right,
books
yeah,
ever
I like
made.
this guy.
It's a short alternate universe miniseries where Superman is dying of an uncurable disease. In it, he tries to come up with a way to either stop himself from dying, or come up with a way to keep people protected while he's dead. It seems like a simple story, but
Wait, why can't they just, like, clone him?
He's Superman. I mean, I guess it is comic books, but so I don't want to spoil the ending because I actually do want you. I'm not gonna say I want you to read it. There is an animated movie. Go watch All Star Superman. But I will say that question kind of gets answered.
No, okay.
the main concept is that of perseverance. How even when you're told there is no solution, no alternative path, no way to win, that in the end, there's always another way. It's probably the most inspiring comic I've ever read. In the comic, Superman says that there's always another way. But what happens with this version of Clark Kent? He can't fix anything. He never finds any solutions to any of his problems. You're telling me that you couldn't have done anything to stop Zod from lasering these people to death? Seriously? If you're strong enough to snap his fucking neck and leave a shockwave afterwards, then why don't you just aim his face somewhere else? You didn't even try.
He probably could have. No, if we're being honest, he probably could have just like tried to cover his eyes or something. I don't know if that would have like exploded his head, but like something. Or he probably just could have just aimed him up or flew up, like just flew upwards into space.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
I
I
don't know.
want to see the comic. I want to see the movie with Zod and Superman. Like Superman brings him to this other star system with a red star, and they fight until eventually it's just two normal guys fighting. They
I mean,
fight for, like,
if it were to go down like that, General Zod beat Superman all day.
Oh, yeah, because he's a general. I mean, he probably knows.
Yeah, he's a soldier. He'd just kill him.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of that.
It's not just Superman. Batman has been getting fucked for years. Now, I was originally going to release this video last year, and it was going to be just about Batman, because I have a lot to say about how Mr. Bruce Wayne gets treated in these movies. The Ben Affleck Batman...
Wait, so before we see this part about Batman, do you agree with what he said about Superman? Do you disagree with anything?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. Like I said, I don't think a lot of these people, a lot of the general public, like I said earlier, doesn't have a real fundamental understanding of Superman as a character. He's more human than most people, to be honest, and they don't treat him like that. I like the emotionless God thing he said. that they treat him like in the movies. He doesn't act like that. He acts more human than most of us do on a daily basis. I would say, he's a human. More the whole super Clark Kent being the costume thing is more accurate towards Batman. But even then, I kind of disagree with that. But
I think it kind of depends on the Batman. Like the Batman in the Arkham games, that's definitely true. He's Batman before he's Bruce Wayne.
Well, I mean, kind of, but like we never really see him do anything as Bruce Wayne. It's just
he's
always.
I don't know. He has the reputation like when he's Bruce Wayne and then he goes into the prison, they call him like boy and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess we're not exactly sure, but
I mean, he's just Bruce Wayne. I mean, like his whole thing is like he stays in his house all the time, so I get that. But yeah, I do agree with what he said with Superman. I think it's very obvious he has a fundamental understanding of the character.
Is way, way, way too mean. And trust me, I like when Batman is a mean guy, but this Batman goes a little too far. What I mean to say is that he's actually evil. In Justice League, Batman doesn't save a single innocent person. I don't know why people are now only into the idea of Batman being a crime fighter. Batman wants to protect life too. That's kind of a big deal to him.
I'm dying very soon.
Oh man.
Yes.
Wait, have you seen Justice League, the cartoon? So, if you ever get a chance,
where can you watch that? You know?
Oh man, you have to find it. This episode, oh my god, dude! I literally, I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, I cried. I'm not gonna lie, I cried so hard. It was on Netflix for a while, but I know they took it off. Dude, I literally like that episode that he's about to talk about. I cried so hard. I cried so hard the first time I watched it.
Yeah,
It was.
I think this
like
is
that scene. This scene, like I was crying, bro. I'm not gonna. But the whole episode is also really good because it's about. Did he explain the episode?
He does. I think. I don't know. Maybe he does. Well, let's watch the scene first.
We'll see. We'll see. Just let him talk. Let him cook.
I'm sorry.
Could you stay with me? I'm scared.
We didn't go with that. Actually, let's just watch all this first.
No, I'm glad they did that because I was going to start crying. Dude, I always talk to people about that part specifically, where he hit that dude with the box.
Yeah,
I was like, he literally, like, I was explaining to my coworkers because they didn't even know. I was like, Batman literally killed people in this movie. Like, he murdered them.
There's blood. So this guy, I mean, you have to hit someone's head really hard for blood to just gush out. I mean, I get that, really, but this guy hits.
And then he slides down too. I hope they show the. I'm not gonna say the scene, but I hope they show the part where he like. You'll have to see it. I'm pretty sure he's gonna show it. Where he kills. This was funny too. No, all right, they didn't show it, but there's a part where in that warehouse scene, the dude throws a grenade at Batman, and Batman like kicks it back at the dude and then closes the door so it like, blows up and kills him. It's so freaking funny.
But to talk about the Justice League one, I just think it's kind of like I really like it would have been really cool to see Batman in one of these movies do something like that, where like, you know, it could just be like, oh, her dad got shot or something, so he's there and he like holds her hand until the police get there or something, because it's like that contrast between how mean he is to criminals but how nice he is to civilians, you know.
Yeah, and that one, so what was going on in that part was that she was like warping reality, and the only way to stop her was like
to kill her.
She had to die. So she going in, she knew that she was talking to Batman, and everybody. I mean, like Wonder Woman was like, "Oh, I'll do it, I'll kill her," and Batman was like, "Nah, I got this," and he had to sit there with her, and I think she just like stopped warping reality, and then she just like died at the end.
Oh.
But it was even sadder than probably what you assumed was happening. But
yeah, I just thought that maybe like her friend died or something, forever or something.
Yeah, she was like destroying reality or whatever, and they're like, we gotta kill her. And Batman was like, oh, I got this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That would have been cool if it was like, dude, what if that should have been Batman versus Superman. Should have been Superman trying to kill this girl that's manipulating reality, and Batman's like, no. And you could even, I mean, maybe not kill all those people, but if he's brutal, like maybe what the beginning scene is him just like destroying, just absolutely like, break it. You could, dude, he's literally break someone's back.
I mean, you could do a brutal Batman without him literally murdering people.
Exactly.
We see it all the time.
And then later we see that thing where he's like, "There's another way." He's like, and Superman's like, "We have to kill him or kill her or something." He's like, "There's always another way." Or something, And that
Yeah, I
would be
mean,
cool.
if they did that in the movie, I'd be mad too, because they'd be like,
Wait 1 second, man.
I mean that your portrayal of Superman would like kind of piss me off. I'm not gonna lie. Hello. Yeah, but I mean, if okay, I mean, if they portrayed Superman the way you wanted them to portray him, I'd be still pretty pissed off. I don't think there's a movie where you portray the characters correctly and then they fight each other. I don't think that makes sense.
I perceive it as not him killing directly, but by sort of, if the bad guys are associated with the thing that happens to blow up, that's not really.
New Batman.
As he actively shoots them and then runs them over. Why'd you mute the video without the context? Right. It would probably split him in half, to be honest. You like split that dude in half with your monster truck.
To blow up, that's not really.
New Batman has a total disregard for human life. My personal favorite moment for Ben Affleck's Batman is in Suicide Squad, where he beats up a man and arrests him in front of his daughter. Look how scared she is. Batman, please don't kill my dad. This core misunderstanding of Batman stems from something that I mentioned earlier. Zack Snyder only read one Batman comic. The Dark Knight Returns is arguably the most popular and influential Batman comic ever made. It's also one of the best. In this universe, Bruce is an old, retired, cynical, and angry man. Robin died a long time ago, so he's retired. He's alone and he's depressed, but he returns to crime fighting when he sees that the world needs him again. The villains that he faces are a lot meaner, a lot darker, and a lot more violent. He has to adjust to this new world of crime. This story was designed to bring Batman back to form, to make him a badass again after Adam West kind of made him a joke. The story explores extreme versions of Batman and Superman. Superman is a tool of the government, and Batman's more brutal and aggressive against crime. This story is the core inspiration for Batman v Superman. Brutal and aggressive.
barely felt it into my stomach. He thought, I can't hear him. Sawing is wrong. I can't hear anything. His neck will have to do. Is he like
Yeah, he's
trying
about to.
snap his neck?
He's So in the comic, basically how it goes is that he's about to, and then he doesn't do it, but just the fact that he even had the thought and that he tried to, the Joker's like, "Oh, I did it. I won. I got you to almost break your rule." And then Joker like finds a way to. I don't remember how he did it, but he literally like snapped his own neck
Oh, I see.
to make it look like Batman did it. I think he did it with no hands too. I was like, I don't think that's how that works at all.
Yeah. Well.
Aggressive against crime. This story
I'm
is
gonna have
the
to try
core
it.
inspiration for Batman v Superman. There's a lot of stuff in this movie that's just ripped directly from this comic. But this should never be your first Batman story. This isn't a hero. He's an anti-hero. This is not how Bruce normally is, so why is this the version that we have in our movies now? This story is regarded as the best in the same way that many people say Evangelion is the best mecha anime. If you watch Eva, you're still not getting a good representation of mecha anime, you're getting a dissection of those tropes. If you've never seen a mecha anime before, you can still enjoy Evangelion, obviously, but you're missing out on a lot of details that the creator put in. If this is the only Batman you know, you're gonna have a pretty messed up idea of what Batman is. So why are things like this? Why
Do you agree with him on all that?
Yeah, for sure.
can't DC seem to get it right? Well, it's because of the studio and the creators. I'm talking about the fellas over at Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers
Thank you.
doesn't care about
Somebody
superheroes.
finally said. Oh, dude, I love that clip of Kanye. By the way,
I do too. Warner Brothers doesn't care about superheroes.
George
There's
Bush
the whole
doesn't care
incident
about
with
black
Ben
people.
Affleck leaving the solo Batman movie and that movie being delayed almost indefinitely because nobody wants to work on it. How the studio executives apparently said that they don't care if the movie was bad. Look how long it took for
Wait, hold up. I want to see. Hold up. We don't. There's 30 things that are wrong with it that we can fix, and the executive said, "We don't care. We really don't care. The amount of money we're going to make globally. I mean, 70% of our audience is not going to be seeing this in English. It doesn't really matter. These things that you're bringing up about the flaws of the script. So I don't like global persons."
Yeah,
Wow.
and one of the things that this was before the project obviously went to what the hell is this guy's name? The new director, whoever it is. This is before it went to that, and Ben Affleck was writing the script, and he literally was like, driving himself crazy, like drinking a lot, like driving himself insane, trying to make the perfect Batman movie, and then Warner Brothers is just like, oh, they're like, oh, well, guess what? We don't care.
Damn.
This man's literally like he ruined his relationship. I think this was before him and Angelina Jolie got divorced. It wasn't him and Angelina Jolie. Who was he married to? The mother actress. It was him and whoever before they got divorced. And I think this was like part of the reason because he was like driving himself insane.
I see.
Trying to make this movie as possible.
Let's see. You might know the picture I'm talking about. Have you seen this picture?
Oh yeah. This man is just in pain.
Yeah.
Executives apparently said that they don't care if the movie was bad. Look how long it took for WB to put out a Wonder Woman movie. They didn't even believe in their own property. Fucking forget the fact that she's a whole third of your iconic trio. That doesn't matter, right guys? She's one of the most popular superheroes in the entire world. Now, one of the main reasons Diana didn't get a movie for so long is because she gets revamped and changed so often that most people don't even know what her lore is. She's gotten it pretty rough, if we're being honest. But then Patty Jenkins came along and she made a fun superhero movie that stays faithful to the core ideas of the character while telling a unique story. I talked a lot about Wonder Woman in the other video I made, so if you want more of that, you go and check that out. Now, if we're being honest, I think that this movie is going to be the only good movie for DC. They're going to fuck up the Wonder Woman sequel, and any other Batman or Superman spin-offs are going to crash and burn too. That is, if they even manage to get released. The only movie on the horizon from DC that I think is actually going to get released is Flashpoint. And by God, I really wish that movie had a chance of being good. The original Flashpoint story is super cool, and I think that it would make for a really good sci-fi movie if done correctly. Flash is the only character that I think has been getting good representation in media, and that's...
What do you think about that?
A good representation? I kind of disagree. The CW show is they don't understand the character either. I mean, well, I won't say that. I won't say that they don't understand the character. They don't understand him well, but the what are you doing?
I was just reading the comments while you were talking.
Thanks. I don't think they really have much of an understanding of the Flash character. I mean, they have a decent understanding, but it's just like he said earlier, it's like a basically a CW show, but
Yeah.
like with superheroes now. But I mean, I guess I don't really see how it's a good show. I don't see how he's getting any good representation because that's his only representation. And then the Flash ad in the Justice League movie was like some weird amalgamation of it's supposed to be Barry Allen, but it was like some weird amalgamation of like Wally West and Bart Allen. So I don't really see how he's getting good representation. I'd still say Batman's probably getting the best representation just because the games are so good.
I can see that. Yeah. The Batman games are pretty good. But they're very good. It's sad that they can't really go anywhere with it. I still want to get a Nightwing spinoff or something. But
I told you about the new one they're making, right?
you did, but I forget.
It was after he died, and you get to play as it's like a multiplayer game too. So you can play as like all the Red Hood, Nightwing, Batgirl, and Robin.
I want to play as the other one, Catwoman. I want a Catwoman game.
I think that game wouldn't sell very well.
Well, it could be like a stealth game, like more of a stealth game, like you do heists or something. I don't know.
I mean, it'd be fun. I'd like it. I'd buy it, but I don't think it would do too well. But I mean, if they made it right, I think it'd be fun.
So, you know, Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5?
No.
Why?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, no, don't look it up. I know.
So, that's why you need. So they took like a real woman, like there's a Dutch actress that they've totally based it off of, and looks pretty much split an image. You know, in that game, all the faces and stuff on the main characters are really detailed.
Right.
You do that. You have some hot chick, and you do that, and then you promote it. Use sex to sell it. You know, gamers love. You know, gamers are pretty.
I wouldn't, man. I wouldn't buy that game. I don't.
Well.
That'd be such a disrespectful way to advertise your Catwoman game. Ew.
I guess I just like women in their bodies. It's okay, you know, if you think that women should.
I mean, I do,
up,
but if you want to sell your entire game based off of that, I mean,
okay, well, you don't.
I don't think anybody's gonna want to play it.
You have good gameplay and stuff too, but I mean, like,
yeah, but I mean, if sex is the whole thing, like,
not the whole thing. That would just be the marketing. You know, all right. Well, I guess I don't know what the core of the game would be. I guess I just like Catwoman. That's what we're getting at. Well, most of my commentary on the show was just like my fantasies about superwomen.
That's why people tend to like him a lot more nowadays. I really hope that he doesn't get ruined like these other guys have. Diana at least hasn't been ruined yet, but with her being the only likable character in these films, it'd be great if we could get some love for everybody else. DC and Marvel are way different. Marvel characters see their powers as a curse, where DC heroes are born with them, or they cultivate them through training or something like that. Marvel heroes are mortal, and they have mortal problems. DC heroes are gods amongst mankind, and a lot of their issues stem from that concept. Some people may see that as being less interesting than Marvel's idea of a superhero, but I would disagree. I think that neither is better than the other. I think that you can make interesting stories around these characters while staying true to what makes them great. Not by copying the success of Marvel, by throwing in random cringy jokes when it's not thematically appropriate, but by looking at the things that make these characters special. Now, I mentioned a lot of great comic books in this video, and I bet that if you guys go ahead and read any of these, you'll have a way different version of these characters in your mind. I bet you won't come out of them saying, DC has way worse characters than Marvel. No, you'll probably just be as frustrated as I am that these iconic characters are drifting away from the concepts that make them great.
What do you think about what he just said there?
I agree with him.
I think that's the end of the video.
Hi guys,
yeah,
it's me.
Yeah, Cosmonaut Variety Hour is a pretty good. I like almost all of his stuff. I don't always agree with him, but I think he always kind of justifies his position pretty well, and I find his opinions to be interesting, at the very least entertaining.
Okay.
I'd
have to check him out then.
Yeah. So obviously we're giving him a shout out. You know, I'm gonna send all our viewers their way. All right.
Go to myself broken laugh. Right. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. What's the other one? Hit the bell notification. Send me like $30. The PayPal link will be somewhere. Just type in the comments. We want to pay Kawan, and I will send you my personal PayPal. It's not connected to the channel. It's not going to help the channel at all. It's going to go directly into my pocket. And what was the other thing?